Let's start with a truth bomb that might ruin your childhood. The Grinch was not the villain. I said it, let it sink in. He wasn't broken, and he certainly wasn't in need of Christmas cheer. He was just the only person in Whoville who wasn't hypnotized by consumeristic glitter and peppermint-scented propaganda. Every year we're told that the Grinch was a miserable, bitter creature who hated Christmas and needed to be saved by the power of love or something like that. But maybe, just maybe, he was the only sane one in the entire snow-covered cult. Now let's talk about the Who's. Whoville is what happens when capitalism gets its own zip code and a lifetime supply of sugar. Every window twinkles with over-decorated nonsense. Every house is in a battle for who can blind their neighbors first with LED lights. It's not about joy, it's about dominance. Because in Whoville, happiness isn't felt, it's performed. Does that sound familiar? They throw parties that are basically Instagram posts in motion. They sing, they decorate, they gift each other things they don't need, all while pretending they're doing it for the Christmas spirit. But the moment someone doesn't participate, they are branded a monster. And that monster was the Grinch. The Grinch didn't hate Christmas. He hated people pretending Christmas meant something he didn't. He was allergic to hypocrisy. The Grinch lived up in Mount Crumpet, away from the chaos, minding his business with his dog Max, who, by the way, deserves hazard pay for the emotional labor he did in that movie. Every December, the noise from Whoville echoed up the mountain like a commercial for everything wrong with modern society. It was loud, fake, and deeply insecure. And honestly, the Grinch was just trying to survive it. He didn't want to ruin Christmas. He wanted peace and quiet. But no, in Whoville, if you're not smiling, you're suspicious. If you don't join the parade, you are negative energy. If you don't buy gifts, you're a heartless miser. The Ooze weaponized joy. And here's the part we don't like to admit. The Ooze are the real villains. They represent the kind of people who say, Christmas isn't about the gift, while maxing out their third credit card on matching pajamas and imported mistletoe. They claim they're celebrating love. But if you strip away the decorations, what's left? A void. They didn't love Christmas. They loved showing off how much they loved Christmas. The Grinch was just calling out the hypocrisy. He was the guy at the office party who says, do we really need to buy gifts for everyone in the department? And suddenly he's public enemy number one. Now let's talk about the night the Grinch stole Christmas. Except he didn't steal Christmas. He stole stuff. You can't steal Christmas, Karen. You can only steal property. And the fact that the Who's felt like their entire existence fell apart because the decorations and roast beef were gone says everything. Because when you take away the wrapping paper, the ornaments, and the plastic snow, what's left? Nothing. No love, no reflection, no meaning. The Grinch didn't take their joy, he exposed how hollow it was. He ripped away the tinsel and showed them the truth, and they hated him for it. And the Grinch definitely wasn't mad for doing that. He was just tired. Tired of performative kindness. Tired of people who believe a holiday can absolve them of being terrible for the other 364 days. Whoville was a society that was addicted to cheer. They couldn't stop singing even when they had nothing to sing about. They used joy as a drug, a distraction from the emptiness. Because if they stopped smiling long enough, they'd have to face the silence. And silence makes people uncomfortable. The Grinch literally didn't destroy Christmas. He forced Whoville into a detox. And in the movie version, the Ooze wake up, find their gifts gone, and they start singing anyway. The classic redemption moment where we learn that the true meaning of Christmas was in their heart all along. Cute. But let's be honest, how long did that really last before they went back to who they really were? Now let's drag this conversation down from the snowy mountain to the real world. Some people are the Who's and some of us are the Grinch. We live in a world that romanticizes excess and then pretends to be minimalist on social media. We buy self-care candles from billion-dollar corporations and we call it healing. We talk about giving back, but only if there is a camera involved. Christmas in our era isn't about connection. It's a performance of togetherness. We film gift unboxing like they're Oscar nominations. We compare whose trees look better on TikTok. We decorate, post, and perform, all while wondering why it doesn't feel like Christmas anymore. The Grinch mirrors the people like us who question tradition that no longer makes sense. He's the one who says, Maybe I don't want to go broke buying gifts for people I barely talk to. He's the one who doesn't want to smile through burnout. He's the one who doesn't need validation from 500 likes to feel joy. But instead of listening to people like that, society called them negative, ungrateful, or a buzzkill. Why? Because we threaten the illusion that if we decorate hard enough, spend enough, sing loud enough, we will be happy. Spoiler alert, we won't. Happiness doesn't come in red wrapping paper, doesn't come from brand deals or matching pajamas, and it definitely doesn't come from forcing everyone to smile for a picture they will never look at again. The Grinch story isn't about good versus evil. The Grinch represents self awareness, which can be uncomfortable, quiet, but honest. And when those two forces collide, the loud one always wins, at least on the surface. But deep down, we all know which side we envy. The Grinch may live alone, but he is at peace. The Who's live together, but they are lost in the noise. So which is scarier? Solitude or superficiality? And here's what nobody talks about. The Grinch isn't antisocial, he is disillusioned. He tried to belong once. Remember the flashback? He was bullied, mocked, and rejected because he didn't fit the perfect Who's aesthetic. The Who's created the Grinch. That cruelty carved is cynicism. The obsession with image birth is rebellion. He is not a monster. He is a mirror showing society its own reflection, and people hate mirrors that don't flatter them. And maybe that's why the Grinch story still hits a nerve. Because deep down, we are want to run away to our own Mount Crumpet sometimes, away from the noise, away from the pretending, away from the expectation to be happy on demand. So the next time someone calls you a Grinch because you don't want to join the noise, take it as a compliment. Don't forget to subscribe and Merry Christmas.